guys, my name is Natasha Demore, and this is episode 6 of Internet Kids, a podcast where I interview my friends about the fandoms that we love. This is episode 6. That's a lot. I didn't think I would get all the way to episode 6 because, I'm lazy. But I'm here! And this is the episode about Harry Potter, which I'm sure literally everybody has read or at least watched or heard of. But we had to talk about it because it's a classic from my childhood and also from Kailin's childhood. Kailin is my special guest on my podcast today. If you don't know what this podcast is about, I get a friend to come talk about a fandom that we both really enjoy for about an hour, and we just chat about it. So say hi, Kailin.
Hello.
Hello.
Mid-swallow.
Yeah.
Tea.
She's drinking tea. She's my roommate. She's been in a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube channel, so you've probably seen her before. And she really loves Harry Potter.
Love Harry Potter.
Like, more than most people. And most people love Harry Potter.
But not quite at that crazy, I'm gonna collect everything and, like, talk to reporters type crazy. We're
not quite.
At there.
Getting there.
Yes.
Right now, we're sitting in our living room. I can see at least 2 pieces of Harry Potter merch in our living room.
What's the second one?
There's that.
Yeah.
And there's that.
Oh.
We have a Time Turner necklace, and we also have a huge, giant box set.
We have the 31 disc set of the Harry Potter movies with the special collector's box.
And when we say we mean Kailin has that in the living room. It belongs to her. All right, so yes, we've established that Kailin really loves Harry Potter, and I need to preface this by saying I love Harry Potter. I read Harry Potter when I was younger, but I haven't read Harry Potter in very many years, whereas Kailin, like, re-listens to the audiobook, like, every single night. And
I was just doing it.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So anyways, she's gonna be a lot more, like, on the ball of Harry Potter than I am. Not because I don't like Harry Potter. It's been a long time since I read it, and I don't, like, study up all the facts and memorize them to win at Harry Potter Parcheesi or whatever.
I don't study. I just know.
Yeah. So, I do love it, but, I'll be like, I don't remember everything. It's been a long time. So don't hold that against me.
Hold it against her.
Well, that's just rude. All right, so since you don't love me and you haven't listened to the 5 previous episodes of my podcast, you don't know how it works.
I watched the one about... Oh, no, I didn't, because I didn't want to have the questions spoiled.
That's true. Okay, I mean, they're not that crazy. But anyway, so you don't know what the questions are. I have, like, 7 or 8 questions here. Usually we don't go through the whole list just because we get talking and then we don't get to the end, which is fine. They're really just here as, like, a jumping off point so we know where to, like, what to start talking about. But if we only get through 2 questions and we have a lot to say, that's fine. Oh, wait, Bert, I do this every time. I forget that before we do the questions, we have to do a quick summary of what Harry Potter is. Although, really, I feel like no one's going to listen to this and not know what Harry Potter is. If you don't know what Harry Potter is...
Go educate yourself.
How did you live this long without finding out? I'm, like, impressed that you don't know what Harry Potter is.
And why are you listening to this podcast is also another question.
I mean, a few of mine are, like, kind of more rare fandoms, and I feel like people might just listen out of interest, but, like, Harry Potter is so common. I feel like we don't need to do the summary. If you really somehow don't know, it's about a kid who's a wizard who goes to wizarding school.
You're a wizard, Harry.
That's about the main basis of it, and if you haven't read or watched it yet, go do that. I'm sure most people have. So, okay, first question that we can go into, because it's my favorite question, and I think the most important question when you're talking about any fandom ever, is who's your favorite character?
Oh, no.
You don't have one just off the top of your head?
I have so many.
Okay, but you can love a lot of characters, but like, who's your favorite? If you have to be like, my favorite character in Harry Potter is...
It's a tie.
Okay, what's the tie between?
Dumbledore and Hermione.
Okay.
Definitely. Dumbledore, because he's just so awesome, and I could really use his advice in my daily life, and because I relate to Hermione so much, and it was so great just to see a girl character who is so incredibly smart, and that's one of her best attributes, and it teaches girls, hey, be smart, be better than the guys. Hermione and Dumbledore.
Interesting, because they're definitely not my favorites.
Really?
Not that I dislike them specifically, but...
Oh, I know who your favorite is.
Okay, you probably do know.
I do know.
Yeah.
Do I?
Probably.
Is it Lupin?
Oh, okay, it's a tie then.
Right.
It's a tie between Lupin and Ron.
Oh, I was about to say Ron.
Okay, because Ron is definitely just my favorite. Like, the type of character I always love in any media ever is like that, like the sort of the main character's best friend who's kind of goofy but kind of tragic.
And I like the fact that they didn't really make Ron the stereotypical best friend. Like,
how so?
Like, in a lot of TV shows, and I'm thinking of, like, for some reason, That's So Raven, it's the stupid best friend who is
not
the comedic
stupid.
relief. Whereas he's actually the best friend. He's with Harry and helping.
Yeah.
Seriously helping. I'm sorry, Ron. Movie Ron. But they just really kind of screwed up on movie Ron. Book Ron is so much better.
It's been so long since I've read or watched it. I'm not super good at remembering like how they
Book
were
Ron is
different,
better.
but I'm sure the books were better. But yeah, Ron is just so much the kind of character I like. I love, the best friend character who's done well, because there's a very fine line, and in some media the best friend character is annoying and bad, and in some they're like the best.
Yeah.
So I love Ron, and then I love Lupin because he's so good.
Because
He's a great teacher, and also I love werewolves, and he's such a good werewolf.
I love Lupin.
But yeah, I like Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter.
Do you?
Well, I do. He's a good character too. But I was gonna say,
I thought you meant like the fandom. Like, do you like Harry Potter? I'm not convinced. This is the struggle. Like, are you talking about the character or
Both.
like the universe?
This is why you don't name your story after the main character. No, but Hermione and Dumbledore are interesting too, but just not my favorites.
Interesting.
Because,
But I
there's
can see
so many
Ron
characters.
is a really good character.
Yeah. And Harry's good. I like Neville as well.
Neville's a good one. Harry's a bit of an idiot, let's just be honest.
But that's why he's good.
Yeah,
if he
that's why
was
he's
just
lovable.
super smart and good at everything all the time, he'd be an annoying character, but it's like because he has so many flaws that you're like, I like you, Harry.
I like the fact that I was just reading this, that every book movie up until the sixth one, Harry has a theory and goes, I'm convinced I'm right, I'm totally right, and everyone's like, oh my god, Harry, you're right. And then finally we get to the sixth book, he's like, oh my god, Draco is a Death Eater, and everyone's like, nah, Harry, you've been wrong for the past 5 years, we're not taking your word on this. And he's finally proven right. He goes, see, I was right.
Draco's another really interesting character.
I hate Draco.
You hate Draco?
Okay, let me paraphrase, or explain.
Yeah.
Draco is a really good character.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that the fandom has represented him in a way that he's not. That's just annoying that they're like, oh my god, Draco is in love with Harry, and Draco's like a really good character. Draco's not. He's not a good guy.
He's a good character. I think he has an amazing character. He's so interesting.
I don't like the fact that everyone's like, oh my god, Draco's such a poor little baby. He's my sweetie. And I'm like, oh my god, he's not a good guy at all. Like, I understand Snape being a gray area.
Draco's even more of a gray area than
No,
Snape.
he's not.
Oh, 100%.
What does he do that's good?
Draco is because he, was raised to have to be this way.
Yeah,
and,
but it doesn't mean he's got to keep that up at school, but he does. He relishes in it and being a dick to Hermione and Ron.
I mean, yeah, he
and
does
that never stops.
Okay, well, anyways, agree to disagree. I think Draco's a very, very interesting character with a really interesting character arc.
But he's not a good guy.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot of grayness around his character.
Okay, fine. But what I'm saying is I don't like the fact that lots of the fandom will be like, oh no, Draco's such a good guy. He's so sweet. And I'm like,
okay. Well, I don't agree that he's sweet and nice, but I think it totally makes sense for people to relate to Draco or like Draco or be interested in his character. The other question that is a good place to start is when and how did you get into Harry Potter?
Oh, this is such a funny story, actually.
Okay.
I didn't read the books first. I was a movie person first. I started reading the books after the 5th movie came out.
Okay.
And the reason why was I remember this distinctly, watching the first movie with my family in the living room, and I was so scared. I was terrified. And I remember my mom saying, oh my god, the books were so much better and so much more intense. And I was like, I'm never gonna read these. These are so scary. I had nightmares.
Oh, no. How old were you?
Oh, I don't remember, but it was right after the DVD came out because we didn't see it in theaters. I think like 2001, in between 2nd and 4th grade, maybe.
Okay, so pretty young.
Yeah, but the whole Voldy coming out of the back of Quirrell's head freaked me out, and I was like, I'm never gonna read these. They're terrifying, and so I never read the books. And then we saw the 5th movie in theaters, and I remember being shocked that Sirius died. And I was like, oh my god, they totally got this wrong. I'm going to read the books to prove the fact that Sirius does in fact live. And then when I realized that wasn't some kind of weird movie plot twist, I was, first of all, crushed again. And it was just awful.
I like that you were somehow convinced that Sirius must live in the books.
I thought it was the ultimate mean thing of we're just gonna change it. Because I know they change things. I was like, oh, this is something that they changed. They would never kill Sirius. And that's how I started reading the books, was that I was convinced that somehow they had done wrong.
Oh my god.
This was not true.
That's funny. I didn't know that. I definitely read the books before I saw the movies, but I read the books pretty late. I finished the 6th book a few months before the 7th book came out. So whenever the 7th book was just coming out, that's when I read it.
I think that was right around the time of the 5th movie coming out, too.
I don't know which movie was
because I went to the Deathly Hallows book release party, and we did that, and my best friend and I were there, and we actually got interviewed by the newspaper, and we're published in the newspaper.
Yeah.
But, so it was right around that time I started to read the books, because I know that I started reading them after the 5th movie came out, and after the 7th book came out.
After the 7th book came out? You went to the midnight release of the book before you'd read the books?
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Classic.
Then I guess I technically read the books before you. Oh, yes, because I read them before the second book came out. But yeah, I always...
I might have started reading them around then, but I definitely was not done. I wasn't even at the 6th book.
Wow.
When I was at the release party for the 7th.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't watch them until... I saw the 7th movie, part 1 and part 2 in theaters. Growing up, like, I read a lot, but for some reason I didn't think I was gonna like Harry Potter. I was like, oh, everyone likes it, but it's probably
Wasn't
dumb.
your mom, like, afraid to let you guys read it or something?
But she thought I'd be scared. She's like, oh, it's scary, you wouldn't like it. And I was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't like it, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But then, I don't exactly remember how old I was. However old I was around the time 7th book came out, I finally was like, I'll try them. No, younger than that.
13 then. Because it was right before I left for Libya.
Okay.
Maybe it was 12.
Maybe 12 or 13. It was also around the same time I read Twilight. So it was also when Twilight was out.
Yeah, I remember that phase.
Everyone had it. Everyone had the Twilight phase.
Don't be ashamed, we're all there.
Hey, Twilight fed my love of werewolves, okay? But yeah, however old I was then, I read them. I was like, I'll try the first one. Maybe I'll like it. And then I was like, oh my god, this is great. And I loved them, and they were great. And I read them a bunch when I was younger.
Excellent.
Yeah, so there wasn't really an exciting story behind how I got into it. And then I watched movies later after I read the books. And some people really hate the Harry Potter adaptation movies. I mean, they're not perfect, but I think for a movie adaptation of a book, they're really good. Because a lot of books have really bad movie adaptations, like really bad. And the Harry Potter ones are like pretty good. There's some flaws, but like for a movie adaptation,
I only really have
really
one
good.
Big umbrage with the movies.
Which is? Do we even want to get into it?
I don't know. How much time do you have?
Only an hour.
The last battle in the 8th movie.
Oh, the way they did Voldemort.
Oh my god. They totally effed that up. In the books, they got this really awesome part where they're circling each other. And everyone is watching. And Harry is explaining for the reader as well as everyone watching what Voldy's main downfall was. The fact that he gives him the chance to redeem himself and gives him the chance to try and save himself. And that is so crucial. It's supposed to, let's finish this the way we started, Tom, together, and then they fly off into, like, black smoke. I was like, what are you doing? And then, like, the army crawl, and I'm like, oh. And the fact that they destroy the Elder Wand. So I like all of the movies up to... Like
the final battle
up to where like Voldy's like, why do you live? And it's just cut off.
I think the final battle is just way better.
They totally effed it up.
Yeah, that part I agree sucks. But
it would have been
overall,
way more cinematically tense if they did like slow motion close-ups and
no, that's bad filmmaking.
Okay, so not like that, but just like slow. Yeah, you get it. Just they can make that scene even more tense for the movie,
and just.
And that part explains it for the people who haven't read the books.
Yeah.
Some of my friends who haven't read the books are like, I don't understand the last battle. And I was like, girl, sit down and let me talk your ear off.
Yeah. No, that part was bad. And, like, there were bits where they changed things. But overall, I think it was a good movie adaptation.
I agree. The first two are the best.
Yeah.
They are. They're just so cute and young and innocent.
Yeah. No, I think overall they were good. And, like, most of the actors they chose were really good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so...
I don't know if I have an actor that I'm really upset about.
Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some that aren't perfect, but overall, I think it's pretty good. But anyways, question number 3. What is your favorite part? That could either be your favorite book, your favorite scene, just like a part. Like what part is when you think of Harry Potter, like tough. That's the part I love.
Favorite part?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it happens later on. I'm going to say it's definitely 4th book movie onwards. Because the first 3 are just, like, they're really good and strong. Favorite part?
Okay, I have sort of one while you're thinking.
Okay.
I don't know if it's my favorite part, but it's definitely a part I really like. It's at the end of the 5th book when Neville and Luna and Ginny go to the battle with them. That it's not just Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Like, it's just, I feel like that's the first time that they really expanded their, like, friendship circle. Yeah. And they included, like, Neville.
Silver Trio.
And then they included Neville and Luna and Ginny, who are really, really good characters. And like, brought them into it. And then you got to see those 3 shine, and you got to know more about them. And then from then on, we got more of, like, their story. So that's, that is a part that I really enjoy. Okay. Just because I love those characters, and I love that their sort of friendship circle got to expand.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure if it's my favorite part, but it's definitely one that I really like. is in the 5th book, and it's the book, not the movie, because they did it a little bit in the movie, but not in the detail.
Yeah.
It's at the very end when Dumbledore is talking to Harry in his office and explaining why he is the reason why Sirius is dead, because he wasn't...
Wait.
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
Yeah. Basically, Dumbledore's talking to Harry.
When he says when he is Harry's the reason or
Dumbledore's the reason why Sirius died. Because if Dumbledore had been more open with Harry and taught himself occlumency, that this never would have occurred, and that he's basically saying, this is not your fault, Harry, and I'm going to tell you everything now. And explains the prophecy and everything. It's just such a powerful, powerful chapter. And it's one of my favorites to read.
That's good. Yeah, that's part of my...
Especially because, like... Dumbledore is finally so open and explains everything. He's like, I could have told you when you were 11, but I was like, you're much too young. And then when you were 12 and asked me after the basilisk, you came close talking about it, but I said, nah, 12 is barely better than 11. And then at the end of the 3rd one, it's like, you're 13. And at the end of the 4th, it goes, I'm running out of excuses. And the reason why I never told you was because I cared too much about you. And I'm like...
Now that you mention that, I do remember that. But that's the thing about Dumbledore. It's like, I understand from a plot perspective, you couldn't just have Dumbledore explain everything to Harry right away. But, like, from a reading perspective, you're like, you're kind of a dick, Dumbledore.
I don't know. I mean... Like, he has questionable motives, but the fact that he's already saying, I cared so much about you, and I couldn't tell you that you're pretty much gonna die at 11. And I couldn't do that to myself or to you. I'm like, oh. My mom and I had a theory, and it was sad because it never came true.
Yeah.
But we thought that somehow Dumbledore was Harry's grandfather. And then maybe he was like, I think it was probably more on Lily's side, or great-grandfather or something.
On Lily's side?
Yeah. Because then, like, the surname of Dumbledore would have been passed on, probably.
But Lily's side weren't wizards.
Yeah, I know. But actually, this is proof of my knowledge, Muggle-born wizarding children have wizarding powers from when earlier on in their family tree, a squib married into their family, and that magical got passed on to them that way.
That's the only way?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then where did wizards come from in the first place?
Wizards. A wizard Adam and
now
Eve.
I just have more questions.
But yeah, and it was sad because like, oh, so but then we're like sad.
Yeah.
Mom and I had so many intense theories.
Yeah, I probably did, but I don't remember.
We wrote them all down.
Oh
then,
wow.
Yeah.
And also, when I was reading them initially, I didn't have really anyone to talk to because I'm pretty sure none of my friends read it until like after I finished the 7th one.
Oh,
so
it's been so hard not to talk to anyone about that.
I mean, I did. I just told my brother and my mom all about it, but they hadn't read it, so they didn't really care. My mom read it later, which is weird because she doesn't usually like fantasy stuff, but she read it and she like loves it.
That's
and
awesome.
she watches the movies like more than I do. She'll just like sit down and she calls it Scary Harry because she thinks it's really scary. So she's like, I'm gonna watch Scary Harry. Do you guys want to watch it with me? And we're like, Mom, it's not even that scary. She's like, no, it's Scary Harry.
Yeah. One of the things my mom and I did is she read the books first, obviously. And then she, in between the 6th book and the 7th, she wrote down a whole bunch of theories. And she correctly guessed that Harry was a Horcrux. And I was like, go, Mom. But the other theory that she had, which kind of makes sense, but it totally doesn't at the same time, is that she thought that through Polyjuice Potion that Dumbledore and Snape had switched bodies. And that, so when Snape kills Dumbledore at the end of the 6th movie, she thought that it was actually Dumbledore killing Snape in each other's bodies. And that that's how that would have happened. I'm like, that's a really cool theory. And it kind of makes sense, and it's interesting, but then you're like, not at all. Like, there's no way Dumbledore would kill Snape.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we had many. I think we still have that. It's in a Word document somewhere of special Harry Potter predictions.
Theories.
Oh, yeah, we had so many.
Snape is interesting. See, the thing is about Snape is I feel like Snape is... Like what you were saying about Draco, I feel like Snape is more that. Because Draco...
Oh, yeah, Snape is by far the most gray area character.
Well, because, like, Draco is, like, still a kid, right? Snape is, like, an adult man who is still abusing children and not feeling bad about it. It's like, Draco, I feel like, could go either way, right? If Draco grows up and it's just as bad as Snape, he's terrible.
More pity directed towards him because he is a child.
If Draco... But I think he could go either way, right? Like, I feel like after his parent... Like, after the battle and, like, things change, he could end up being like Snape and being terrible... Or he could redeem himself.
But he's never a good guy at the end. He doesn't die with...
Well, he doesn't die.
Well, no, like I'm saying, at the end of his fictional life, he's never, like, totally redeemed himself at the end of, like, the 150 whatever long wizards live.
Well, you don't know that for sure.
Pretty convinced.
Have you read the play?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And I do not consider that canon at all, because it's not even J.K. Rowling's voice.
Okay, but that's the only... Anyways, like I'm saying, it could go either way, right? That's why I think Draco is more gray than Snape, because I think Snape is just a dick. Snape, for his entire life, even though, he had some things he didn't really want to work for Voldemort, he was a terrible, mean man for his whole life. Whereas Draco, I feel like could go either way, depending on how he becomes as an adult, right? That's what I mean. He was definitely a terrible, terrible, terrible kid, but I think he could change, right? That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying he becomes a terrible, terrible, terrible adult, but he's not a good adult.
Well, we don't know that. You can... Anyways. But yeah, that's what I was saying, the difference between Snape and Draco. Mm-hmm.
But I read an interesting thing on... I think it was like... It was some meme, I think. That it was like friendly reminder that if Voldy had picked Neville to kill instead, Snape would still be a Death Eater, because it wasn't until something personally affected him that he even considered changing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Snape is such... Like, people... Snape was so good at the end. He's like, no, he wasn't. He was super selfish. The only reason he did anything was because
crush rejected him, and he took that way too personally.
Yeah.
Fragile masculinity.
So Snape is an interesting character.
Oh, yeah.
But
he's a total dick.
Yeah. Anyways, my next... Or one of my questions was, did you have any theories? But we already talked about the theories, which is good. We covered the question before I even asked it. This question, well, I know you don't participate in fandoms really, but you...
Oh, I lurk on fandoms.
Yeah, but my question, is like, do you contribute? But
no,
it's really. Like, do you make fan art? Do you make fan fiction? But you do make cosplay.
Oh, God.
Not for fandoms, like you don't post pictures on the internet, but you do
I've
for
got
fun.
a wonderful Hermione costume.
Yeah.
I legit made my own robe for Gryffindor. It has its own special red lining, a hood, a wand pocket. I've got the time turner as aforementioned.
Yes.
I've got Hermione's wand. What else do I have? I've got the tie.
The whole thing.
I borrow your shirt.
Yeah.
I've got a skirt.
You had everything but the shirt.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Hermione is my go-to.
Yeah. You haven't made any other, just the Hermione costume, right?
Yeah, I think just Hermione. I've been Hermione twice, because in that newspaper article, I was Hermione, as in my hair was bushy, and I was wearing a white button-down shirt with a skirt and a tie and a time turner. So not at all effort.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
So that's the closest thing to you contributing, because you don't really do fandom. But yeah, I haven't really contributed to the Harry Potter fandom either, because I got into Harry Potter before I got into fandoms. Like now I make lots of fan art and fan fiction for lots of things, but never for Harry Potter, just because like I still like it, but it's like not the cool new fresh thing I'm really into the way I was when I was like 13 or whatever when I read
I
it.
love the Harry Potter fandom.
I like look at stuff from the Harry Potter fandom, but I just don't make anything for it because I'm too busy making stuff for other stuff.
I love reading those articles on like BuzzFeed or some movie.com thing. Where it's like 55 Harry Potter facts you didn't know, and I was like, all right, let's see how good you actually are. And occasionally I'll read a new one. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing too. Like for things
like the theory that Dumbledore's death. That's a really good one.
The theory that Dumbledore's death.
Yeah, like death from the three brothers. Oh. And that, I can't remember exactly how it goes. Google it, Dumbledore's death theory, but,
I think you were trying to say Dumbledore is deaf, and you were saying it wrong, and I was like, wait, what is that theory?
Like the three brothers stories?
Yeah, no, I got it,
he has possession of the Elder Wand, and the way he gives out the cloak to Harry, and that's part of the reason why, and even J.K. Rowling commented saying that that's a beautiful theory.
Yeah, she's commented on some theories that, like, weren't like in her head, but she's like, I like it, which is cool. For a lot of things I get into now, I'm like that. I'm like, I know all the facts. I go read all these articles, but I don't know, because I wasn't really into that when I was reading them. I didn't like go online very much, and I haven't had the like urge since then to like delve into the Harry Potter fandom. So Harry Potter is actually one of the fandoms I know less about compared to stuff I'm into now, just because I never had that like crazy fandom experience where I had to know everything.
There's this
I really enjoyed it. Like me and my friends who were reading it at the time, we like talked about it all the time. We had all of our like theories and things that I can't really remember now, but we loved it at the time.
There's this one app you can get called Quizup, and I remember I heard about this and I was like, it's so cool and exciting, and you were like, this has been out for several years, Kailin, you're not that fresh. But I'm on level 40 for the Harry Potter one, so I'll always be like quizzing myself on Harry Potter, and I enjoy crushing people with my knowledge. And they've got like really funny memes and stuff like that I just like to scroll through, and I'm like, oh, that's a really good one, and I'll save them and send them to my mom. I'm like, look at this, mama.
Kaylin's like really a Facebook mom.
I am.
She's like,
without doubt.
She like, her only social media is Facebook, and she just gets these memes that are like 3 years old. She's like, look at this.
I know,
like, yeah,
so
we've
exciting.
seen that before.
Oh yeah, I am probably 30 on the inside, at least.
What is your favorite relationship? So either like a ship, if you're like, oh, I want them to date, or even just like a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be platonic, whatever. Like, what is your favorite, not just character, but relationship?
Oh, there are just so many.
Yeah.
I really, really like the relationship between Dumbledore and Harry.
Yeah.
The way, like, mentor, and the way that Dumbledore's the one that greet Harry at the King's Cross station at the last book. That's really, really good. I also really, really like Tonkin, Lupin, and Tonks.
Yes, God, it crushed me that they died at the end.
That's just the worst. And I read on Pottermore the backstory of Lupin.
Yeah.
And how he was just always in love with Tonks. And then one day on a mission, she confesses that she loves him. And he's so incredibly happy. And then he goes, no, I can't be with you because I'm a werewolf.
Oh, that always annoys me. I'm like, get over yourself. Just date her.
The sixth book, so they don't do it in the movie. Because the sixth movie is so bad. After Bill's been attacked by Greyback, they're all wondering, like, is he going to be a werewolf? What's going to happen? And Lupin's like, I'm just your resident werewolf expert, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And Fleur is such an underrated character.
Yeah.
I really enjoy her.
She was good.
And Molly's there, like, mopping up Bill's face and crying. She goes, he was going to be married. And Fleur's like, what do you mean he was going to be married? I love him still. And she goes, I will do that. And just starts doing all the care for Bill. Yeah. And then relationship between Molly and Fleur is better. And then Tonks is like, you see? Yeah. She still wants to marry him. And then he goes, it's not the same. And then everyone's like, no, Lupin, just Dumbledore will be happy. Be happy. And then they get married.
And then they die.
And then they have a baby.
And then they die.
And Lupin is so excited about the baby.
I know.
Well, not at the beginning. But once the baby's born, he's like developing his metamorphologists stuff. And he goes, it's so exciting. And I'm like, Lupin, you just deserve so much.
Yeah. I'm still mad that they died at the end.
Oh, God. Yeah. Apparently, that was the only time J.K. Rowling cried in front of her editor. Yeah. Was the fate over Teddy. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I loved them. Yeah, what's my favorite relationship? I mean...
There are just so many.
The Harry, Hermione, Ron trio is just so good, right?
Yeah.
Like... it's like the foundation of the books, and it's so well written, and it's like three characters you just love, and you love not just them, but they're like
there's no like
the way they play off of each other. Yeah, like there is a bit in the seventh book, but it's much more around their own insecurities than just
not
about
like,
romance.
Goes, which man will I choose?
Yeah, there's not that.
Hermione was only over Ron, and Ron's just an idiot because he thinks that Harry's so much better than him, and Harry's like, dude, she's basically my sister. I'm after your sister, so you can take mine. Yeah. No, there's just so many good moments between each combination of them, and then the three of them together, even in the seventh one. And like when Ron is like, we should warn the house elves, and then he's like, what do you mean? She goes, well, to get them to fight. He goes, well, no, we should let them know to be free and like get away from danger. And Hermione just like full on kisses him, and Harry's like, there's a battle going on, man.
That's good, but I was gonna say the part where Ron leaves, and Harry and Hermione are like so broken up about it because like
Hermione especially,
but like both of them, right? Because like the three of them are such a like
it's like not having your right
it's so
hand
important
anymore.
to each other, right? So that relationship overall is really...
And the fact that Dumbledore gave him the Deluminator because, as Harry puts it, he knew he would want to come back.
Yeah, it's so good.
Love Dumbledore.
I love the three of them. I think that's probably... Like, there's a lot of good relationships in the books, like... Yeah. But those three.
Kind of non-existent, but the relationship between Harry and his parents, which is obviously not explored because they're dead. Yeah. But the fact that everyone is always saying how similar he's to Jane, looks in terms of James, but how he's really much more after his mother. Mm-hmm. And in the forest, when he's going to meet Dumbledore in the seventh book, and he does the Resurrection Stone, and he sees them. And his mom says, we're so proud of you. Yeah. And then, this is actually a fun fact, I'm not sure if you know this, I seriously considered getting a tattoo over my heart, of James's line, I believe, of "We'll be with you until the end," or until the very end is what he says. And I just really like that. They're like, "We're gonna be with you, hon."
That's interesting.
Yeah. Sirius. The relationship between Sirius and Harry.
Sirius and Harry is great.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of J.K. Rowling just writes relationships really well, which is why the books are so popular and so good, right? Yeah. Like what makes a book good isn't really just the plot; it's the characters and the way the characters interact with each other. Because you could have the whole plot of Harry Potter. And if the characters sucked, the books would suck. No one would care about Voldemort and whatever if, like, they didn't care about Harry and whatever. So, she's very good.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so then there was a question about any theories, but what will happen next? Or if it's a finished series, what did you think was going to happen? Which we already talked about.
Yeah. I pretty much knew Harry was going to live. I mean, I was pretty sure. I never had any real doubts.
I didn't really think he was going to die.
But I like the fact that when Daniel Radcliffe was asking, like, What's gonna happen? Does Harry die? And then J.K. Rowling answers saying you get a death scene. And I'm like, oh, I love that.
Technically. Yeah. No, I didn't think he was gonna die. My mom, I guess she'd already read them as well by the time we got to the 7th book, because when we got the 7th one from the library, before she read it, she flipped to the end and read the epilogue.
No!
She didn't tell me anything about it, but I was like, Mom!
Why?
Because she does that with books. If she thinks the ending is going to be too suspenseful, she will read the end so she can appreciate the rest of the book without being worried about the end.
So
I
bad.
know, I agree.
Wrong, I do that occasionally.
No!
But I will do it for books I don't really care about.
I won't do it for any books.
I've done it like maybe 3 or 4 times. I do it with scary movie synopsises, though.
No, that ruins it. What's the point of reading or watching something when you already know how it ends?
The reason why is because, and not Harry Potter related, but but my horrifying reaction to the It trailer that just came out.
Which I don't get. It's not that scary.
It's terrifying. I've woken up at least 5 times since I've been back here in a cold sweat.
How? I don't even know why.
Anyway, my point being, it was starting to just haunt me, and I was like, well, I'm not going to see the movie. Like, no way. So I read the synopsis about what happened, so at least I know, so I'm not going to spend that I'm going to get dragged by the floorboards type of horror movie, and they triumph over him eventually. So that way I just know, and I was like, all right, I'm satisfied. I can move on in about 2 years, and I'll probably stop having nightmares in 2 years, hopefully.
Well, okay, I don't do that with anything.
Eyes.
But anyways, she read the end of it, and then she, was like, do you want to know, if he lives or not? I was like, no, I don't want to know, Mom! So I didn't know, but my mom, threatened to tell me.
Get in your room or else I'll tell you what happens. I actually remember, I read them, once I started to read them, because I read them after the 7th book came out, I finished them in exactly a week. Then why didn't
you read them before the 7th book came out if you could read them that fast?
That's when, my drive to read them happened. I just kicked in.
Yeah.
And I read them, and then I was rereading them later on that month, I will have everyone know. And I was at the 7th book rereading it and appreciating it. And some asshole in my school said Harry dies in the end. So he saw me read this right after it came out, and he literally had no idea that I'd already read it. And he just goes ahead and tries to spoil this shit for me.
Although he was wrong, so.
Well, I said that, and he goes, how do you know you haven't read it? I'm like, this is my 2nd time reading it, you idiot. And he's like, I've gotten this huge debate by the water fountain. And it was just, I still get mad. But really, I was probably 6th or 7th grade. I want to say 6th grade is when I finally read them all.
Maybe, I don't remember.
But what 8th grader does that to a 6th grader? And
Kids are mean.
Kids are mean. If you're a kid, be nice.
No. Kids are fine. Some kids are mean. All right. We went through these questions really fast.
Are we done?
No, there's only one more. Usually I don't even get to the last one.
I just have so much to say.
Yeah. Well, you say it fast, apparently.
Yeah, I do. But I'll be going to sleep tonight, and I'll be like, oh my god, I should have said this.
No, there's always, there's more than you can say in an hour. But yeah, the next question is there anything you really don't like about Harry Potter? And I feel like you really love it, so maybe not, but...
I feel like there's something I don't like, but I can't think of it right now, so you go first.
I don't know, though. I don't have something off the top of my head. Obviously, there's, little things certain characters who annoy me or whatever, but what?
Calmly really annoys me.
I don't know what calmly is.
How do you know what calmly is?
Well, if you say it, maybe I'll remember. I said, it's been 10 years since I read them.
Dumbledore is did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? He said... calmly. And then in the movie, he's like, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Calmly. I thought you were saying someone's name, Mr. Calmly. No. And I'm like, who's Calmly? I don't remember Calmly.
That really annoys me.
Okay.
But it annoys me, but I also find it really funny that people are horrified over it, so it's...
But that's also, an adaptation, something you don't like that they changed in the movie. Is there anything, actually about the story or whatever? I guess it could also be, is there something you don't like about the adaptation? Whatever. And if not, the answer can just be no.
I don't like the fact that Sirius dies. That really, really hurts. Sirius dies. And Florian Fortescue. The fact that she just kills him off randomly. He was the ice cream man. And she originally intended to have him have some knowledge of the Deathly Hallows. And that's why he's killed off in the 7th movie. Or book. And then later she goes, I didn't really need to kill him off. Sorry. And I'm like, he was just a sweet man who just gave Harry free ice cream and helped him with his homework. And I'm like, why'd you have to do that?
Yeah. No, actually, speaking of deaths, A, I was mad that Tonks and Lupin died, but B, and this isn't this is partly annoyed, but partly a headcanon theory I have. So I'm mad that Fred died, but what I'm really mad about is that Fred doesn't come back as a ghost. Because my thing is that
Fred would not come back.
He totally would.
No,
Why?
he wouldn't.
Fred, okay, my theory, I'm going to tell you my theory and then you can disagree with me. But the reason I think he would come back as a ghost is A, ghosts come back because they have unfinished business. You can't tell me that Fred doesn't see George as his unfinished business. Fred and George were like a duo. His unfinished business would be he would only be a ghost as long as George was alive. And then when George dies, he would go...
That's not allowed. Once you're a ghost, you're stuck being a ghost forever.
That's not how ghosts work in the Harry Potter universe.
It is because Nick, Nick is like, oh, you should have just moved on because in the 5th book, Harry's like thinking that's what Sirius is gonna do. And goes, he's gonna come back. He's got unfinished business with me as his godson. And he chases down Nick, and Nick is like, he wouldn't. He would have chosen to go on.
All right, well,
it's the right thing to do, and you're stuck with it. And I would not do it. Back.
I didn't know that. I thought you could go away.
You're
but
stuck.
B, I still like my theory because then I think if Fred became a ghost, George would also become a ghost, and they would be ghosts that haunt the Wizard Weasley Wheezes for generations and generations. Because I think they would enjoy that.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
But it would probably bring their family a lot more harm and sadness. I just think it was...
Maybe this is my whole thing about I would love to be immortal. So for me, if I could become an immortal ghost, I would do it. So when Fred doesn't become an immortal ghost...
Fred would move on.
I don't think so. I don't think he would.
Because even if he was a ghost and then the George thing, you'd have one, 21-year-old ghost and one, 150-year-old ghost. And
I don't know, because Fred's just, he's not that old. I don't know. I think he would do it. Even if it's the wrong decision to make, I feel like he would. But that's my headcanon. I'm not saying...
No, because they were incredibly smart, so they knew it was up. They would have chosen to go on.
All right. Well, that's my thing about immortality, I guess. I like the idea of them coming back as a ghost, but that's just me.
It's so sad.
I don't find it sad. I find it better.
It's lonely.
No. Not if it's both of them. They're both ghosts together.
Yeah, it's still lonely.
No. I disagree. But anyways... That's my theory that I like. Although I did think that they could move on if they wanted to, so I didn't remember that part. Yeah. But still, I still like the idea. It's my thing. I like it. But anyways, I'm mad that he dies.
One of the things that I not like, we talk about this all the time. What bothers me?
I don't know.
Me.
I don't know. No. I just hear you talk about how much you like Harry Potter.
I know to my mom, there's a lot of stuff that my mom and I both say that we are annoyed at. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh wait. Are we talking in the actual books?
Whatever
I was
going
to say the fact that they changed the last
battle. Well, yeah, we already talked about that.
That gives me such rage at night.
Yeah. I lie in bed and I just think about it.
Yes, I do.
I don't.
The fact that Dobby dies really hurts.
Oh,
I never pictured Dobby working for Harry. That never came across.
No.
I would picture Dobby working at the Weasleys. And helping out Molly, and just that would be just so sweet. It's just Dobby being loved and appreciated at the Weasleys. He'd be like, "Oh my God, these people are so nice. They want me to sit at the table. They feed me. Of course, I'll help Molly with the housework, and I'm here with my Wheezy," which is what he calls Ron. I like that.
That's there is, and maybe I'd have to reread it to think about it again because I was pretty young when I read it before. But I did think that she killed off maybe a few too many characters in the last book. There's a line, right?
In the last book, but a good amount of death in the series, I'd say.
In the series, yeah. But in the last book, because there's a line between you're like, this is a war. A lot of people are going to die. And I get that. And, you're representing that. But at the same time, it's after a certain point, you just feel like you didn't necessarily have to kill... I don't know.
That because it was a risk as a writer to kill off a whole bunch of characters. And it'd be really easy to give... Everyone gets a happy ending.
Well,
and him,
but there's a difference between...
Go to jail.
No, and I didn't want it to be that. Nobody died and everyone was fine. But, I don't know. There's just a certain point where you're like... I don't know. And again, that's why I said I have to read it, because I was younger and I was just sad. And I was like, I don't like it. Don't kill people. And, now I'd read it again and maybe be like, it was good. But I felt like
I mean, it does suck, but I think it was the right choice for the series.
And like I said, it's not that I don't want to kill anyone in the last book.
I think it sucks, especially because a lot of people die in a contrary amount of chapters. I'm pretty sure in one chapter you realize that Lupin, Tonks,
it just goes by
and
so
Fred
fast.
are dead in one chapter. That was a blow.
Yeah.
And we just got through Dobby dying a few chapters ago, and then Dumbledore dying. It's good lord, everyone's just dying. I think that's what comes across, because
maybe
a lot of important characters die in a short span of time.
Yeah.
Dumbledore's funeral is another really good scene in the book. They never did it in the movie. Sad when Hagrid carries Dumbledore.
Hagrid's one of the best characters, and I feel like he's underappreciated.
And
his relationship with Harry, and Ron and Hermione is so good. He's the best dad figure in Harry's life. All the other dad figures in Harry's life are kind of have issues.
No, Hagrid is the best.
Hagrid's the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Dumbledore, he has issues. Sirius, he has issues. Lupin, he has issues. James, he's dead.
Yeah.
Hagrid, he's the best father figure in Harry's life.
And I'm just saying, Harry, why did you name your kids?
Yeah.
I read a theory that the reason why Harry named his son after Severus was to, kind of, like, it's annoying, the fact that he did, but I read that he did it, and I think J.K. Rowling said this, actually.
Yeah.
That it was to show to the wizarding world that he had forgiven him, and that it was okay to appreciate the good and the bad of Snape. The fact that he was a total dick, but he did do good things in the end.
Kind of.
Okay to forgive him at this point.
Yeah, the thing that is, like, people are always mad that he named his kid after Snape and Dumbledore, and I'm like, I agree that Snape and Dumbledore
Because it's an awful name.
great.
Let's just be... It's a bad name.
Well, yeah.
Good symbolically, but bad name.
No, but my thing is that, like, I agree that Dumbledore and Snape had problems, but my thing is, I believe that Harry would think it's a good name. You know what I mean? Like, I think even if, as the reader, you're like, Dumbledore and Snape are kind of really problematic people. Why would you name your kid that? But, like, if you're thinking about it not from a point of view of, like, yes, it was a good decision for me as the reader, but if you think it as Harry has flaws too, right? And Harry forgives people that maybe he shouldn't have forgiven. And so I totally 100% believe that Harry would think it's a good idea to name his kid after Snape and Dumbledore, even if as the reader you don't necessarily think it's a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
And people get so mad about it. I'm like, yeah, but think about Harry. Harry
Have
would
you
do
met
that.
Harry?
Yeah. Did you read Harry? I'm not saying it's the right decision. I'm saying it is the decision Harry would make. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I totally believe that Harry would name it that, even if maybe he shouldn't have, right?
Yeah.
So I don't hate that he named his kid that because I believe Harry would do that.
I mean, I hate that, but I totally see his reasons why.
Yeah. Like, I believe it from Harry. Yeah. Also, some people hate the epilogue, but I like the goofy stuff in the epilogue. I like that, Ron and Hermione talking about, like, the driver's license and stuff.
And
that's so good.
I think it's James. Yeah. James, as in, like, his son, Harry's son, comes back and he's like, I just saw Teddy and what's her name? Victoire.
Oh yeah,
snogging.
Yeah.
Snogging. And then Harry's like, oh, that's so sweet. And then we should just invite him to live with us full time. Mm-hmm. And then Albus and James are like, we can share a room. And he goes, no, you will only share a room when I want the house demolished. And I just like that. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I liked the epilogue. Some people had problems with it, but I was like, I like seeing them.
Yeah.
I'm an epilogue fan. Some people aren't.
I like it.
In general, not just in Harry Potter. I just usually
I like
enjoy
to
epilogues.
I want to have proper closure in the book, and I like to have a sneak of what goes on after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other
thing... If it's a shitty closer ending, and then they do an epilogue, I'm like... But if it's satisfying on both ends, I'm good.
And it's also, like, some people get mad if it doesn't, like, line up with how they wanted it to end, but I'm like, you can still it's still fiction, right? Like, there's no reason with you being like, I had canon that the epilogue didn't happen this way and it happened like this. And it's like, you can headcanon whatever you want. It's fiction.
I also really like the scene in the book when Hermione finds out that Dobby's working in the kitchens at Hogwarts and brings Harry to see Dobby. And Dobby's so sweet with all of his different colored socks. And he goes, I love all my socks. And that when Hermione's, like, knitting everywhere to trying to set free the elves.
Yeah.
Which is such an interesting perspective, because I agree that slavery is bad.
Yeah.
But the fact that the elves are so... They like it. That's... I mean...
It's
you
debatable.
can look from your human point of view, like, oh, how can they like it? But the elves are horribly upset to think that they... It's not so much of that we're slaves. It's more of like, this is my job, and I really want to do it well. And if you tell me to be free, you're telling me I failed at my one life's goal.
Yeah, it's one of those things
It's a gray area.
It's hard when you try to make a social commentary while using fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to make a social commentary...
I don't think she was using it as, like...
Well, whether she was doing it on purpose or not, it's what she did, right? Yeah. It was a metaphor for slavery. But you can't do a metaphor for slavery with a fictional fantasy creature that is different from a human being, right?
I agree, yeah.
And it just kind of creates
this... different viewpoints?
It creates this weird issue of, like, you're trying to make a social commentary, but it's based in a fantasy reality where it's not the same, and then it's, like, this tough gray area.
Fact that Hermione goes around knitting to try and set all these elves free, and then the elves are so horribly upset by this that they're no longer cleaning the Gryffindor common room in fear of finding a hat or something. Yeah. And Dobby decides to do it all for them, because, like, I just love being free, and I like having my... stuff, and then he's like got like this 10-foot tall hat because he has to keep putting all the hats on.
Dobby's a good character.
Yeah, and the Dumbledore is so sweet. Like, he employs the house elves and he treats them really well. Mm-hmm. And then Dobby comes looking for work, and Dumbledore's like, yeah, you want to get paid? How's 10 galleons and 1 day off? And Dumbledore's like, oh my god, no. I'll take 1 galleon a week and 1 day off a month. And Dumbledore's like, are you sure? He goes, yes, this is what I want. And I beat him down. And he goes, it's great.
Oh, I love Dobby.
I love Dobby. Yeah. The 4th book is really good. It's really long.
Yeah. But I love I'm trying to think about my favorite
book. That's what bothers me. Is also the fact that they cut out Sirius in a lot of the 4th movie, because I like the fact that he comes back from hiding. He's hiding in a cave in Hogsmeade, and he's with Harry. So much in that book. And he's with Harry in Dumbledore's office after Harry gets back from the maze, and he's like, we don't need to do this, Dumbledore, and he's just really, really great in keeping Harry company and all of that. And that's so good, and they just totally cut that out. And that was so great to have him literally living off rats so he could take care of his godson.
Yeah, Sirius was a better godfather in the books than in the movies.
Oh, yeah. The fourth book, I think, is very underappreciated.
It's been a while since I read them. I know a lot of, well, maybe not a lot of people. My friends didn't really like the fifth book because they thought it was too long and too sad. I liked it. I don't know what my favorite one was. I don't think I have a favorite one. I like the whole story.
Oh, I flip-flop a lot. It depends. Sometimes I'm really in the mood for the third book, and I'll just sit down and reread that. Other times, I'll go from the fourth book. I really hover a lot between reading the third, fourth, and fifth book, and listening to the fifth, sixth, and seventh book on audiobook, and watching the first three. That's
like a very interesting system for
it. That's not to say like I don't listen to the first one,
but that's your favorite.
But that's usually how I'll go back. Because the thing I love about Harry Potter that I've always experienced is I've reread these books so many times. I usually read them every summer. Narnia I've got to get started on because I usually do that every Christmas. But the fact that I can reread these books, and I've been doing this for years. I know these books. I know what passwords they use in certain chapters. Not to toot my own horn. But I love the fact that I can reread it and either read a new line differently or be like, how have I missed that line? And every single time, the series will teach me something new about myself or something that I need to work on that I haven't thought of before. So it teaches me something new every single time I read it. And what other book series can do that? I mean, that's what's really cool about it.
I feel like any book series can do that if it's a book series that's very important to you. Like, I feel like, yes, Harry Potter's a super good series and it's better than some, but I feel like part of that is probably because of how important it is to you as a person, not just because they're good books, right? Because you could read any book series that means so much to you and it's teaching you something.
I've done that a lot with Narnia. I've done it a lot with The Sisters Grimm, which is an excellent book series. You should read it all. It's a really cute series. Great and Terrible Beauty series I've read a lot. I reread a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff I really do like.
Yeah.
But the reason why I was coming back to is the fact that it teaches me something new.
Yeah.
Or I'll read something differently. I'm like, that's so cool. That will just 10 times on, I'm learning something new about this.
Yeah, that's interesting. And my favorite thing about Harry Potter is the fact that it's so much a part of our generation.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm a writing student, right? And I go to all kinds of writing things. Like, when I was younger, I went to writing camp, and now I'm in all these writing classes. And it is the one thing that you can talk about, and almost everybody in the class will know about it and care about it, and it has a meaning to them, and it's important to them, and it's such a, like, unifying thing. Like, obviously there's a few people who haven't read it or don't like it or whatever, but most people, especially the kind of people who are in a writing department, who, like, books are important to them, Harry Potter is important to them.
A metaphor for Jesus Christ is insane.
Well, I don't think that's why it makes it important to everybody.
No, but that's why it's important, but that's why it's really interesting, too, is the fact that it's pretty much a very similar allegory to the Bible. There are lots of stories that you can find in the Bible that have been represented in Harry Potter. And I can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
The most obvious one being that Harry comes back and he sacrifices himself for the people, and that none of Voldy's charms can hold up to that.
A lot of very large myth-spanning stories do rely on the Bible. Yeah. And I'm sure for some people that's an important part of it. For them, for me, who's not like a religious person, that's not a reason that it is important to me. But
really, really religious. We have such intense controversy of it because she goes, oh, it's like promoting the witchcraft thing.
Yeah, see, that's the ironic thing.
And one of her parents are like that too, and I've gotten into a debate saying, no, if anything, this teaches me more about Jesus. And they're like, really? And I actually got them to consider reading it, and they read it, and like, this is actually really good, and I can see, like, it's just a different way of saying something. Yeah, I like that. I had another point, and I can't remember it right now. What was my point, Natasha?
I have no idea.
Damn.
We're almost done, though, so come up with your last point.
I can't think of it now.
All right, well, think of something else. What's your last thing you want to say?
I remember my point.
Oh, okay, good.
We were talking about how it's part of our generation, stuff like that. And I remember just a few days ago in my Victorian English class, we were talking about how a lot of the famous Victorian novels are published serially. Yeah. And that they were illustrated, and that sometimes different magazines would have different illustrations that might spoil it and interpret the chapter differently. Yeah. And I was thinking about how Sarah and I have such strong opinions about the cover art. Because I am an American, so I have the American covers. Yeah. And she she's basically a British person because she's Canadian and has the British covers. And we were talking specifically the 7th book. And in the British cover, it is an illustration of Harry, Ron, and Hermione pouring out of the Gringotts vault, which is a fun, exciting thing. Yeah. But in mine, it's Harry reaching out for the Elder Wand to catch it after Voldemort collapses. And we were talking about how it's different. Like, for her, it was more of the trials and that they went through, and that's how she saw the 7th book, whereas I saw it as, like, the final book and the final triumph, and that's all because of those two images.
That's interesting. I also had the British covers, because Canadian. And I just like the art better on them, personally. I don't have deep meaning behind them. I just like them. Yeah.
But now they're, like, redoing the covers. And
there's like a million different versions of the covers.
Well, like, obviously for different countries, but now there are new British covers and new American covers.
Yeah. Anyways, there's different covers. That's interesting.
And we all have the right cover for ourselves.
Yeah. I think they're all fine. Yeah. But, yeah.
Oh, can I say one more fun fact?
Sure. Final
fun fact. My mom and I have... each other's, we have our own copies of Harry Potter. Yeah. I've got the paperback, she's got the hardcovers. Yeah. And we actually have two famous, or rare, I guess, books of them,
you've told me this.
Because I think it's called a mule. Yeah. That when you're looking at the spine and you're reading it the correct way, like not upside down, you open the book and the pages are upside down. So we have two of those and they're second editions. So they're actually quite valuable now. And I tell my mom, because they live in Saudi Arabia, that if they ever get evacuated, they've got to bring those books because they're worth a lot of money eventually. So yeah, we've got spunky Harry Potters. And how rare is that to have two of them? And we didn't seek them out. We just randomly like, oh, they didn't bind these correctly.
yeah, you've mentioned that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, we should end it now.
Yes, before you go, tell us something else about your unique copies of Harry Potter.
I have a box set.
Oh my god.
I kept the box.
Anyways, so thank you for being here. Thanks for talking about Harry Potter. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed our random Harry Potter conversation. I'm sure there's so much more stuff we could have said, but it's hard to pack everything you have to say about a fandom into 1 hour. Yeah. But thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, you can subscribe either on YouTube or on SoundCloud. I do one of these every month on the first of the month. I talk to a different friend about a different fandom for an hour. If you're on YouTube, you can also comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this and what your thoughts about Harry Potter are, and you can like this video. And thanks for listening. Say bye, Kailin.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun.
I don't know. Have fun.
Bye.
Enjoy life.